Right.
Where do you want to sit, mate?
I want to come and sit here between these two.
A rose between two thorns.
You said it.
Or a prick between two roses.
Well, anyway, hello everybody.
Good morning.
Hello. This is our next live. This is the round table session with everyone, as you know, Karen, Gloria, and we got Jeff. Sorry, he's gone to sleep already.
No.
And then we got Rudy.
My eyes are burning.
And you know what, these guys, we've been cracking along quite nicely now for quite a while. So yes, for tonight we're going to cover past lives, which is quite an expansive subject. And I think the couple of us have had experiences of past lives. I haven't as yet, but I'm willing to try the hypnosis thing and see what comes up with mine. Although I don't think it's going to be for light reading, to be honest. I've just got this feeling. So yeah, so that is what we are going to discuss. Just quickly with the channel, as I pointed out, we've been we've got all videos are now uploaded. They've all been scheduled, and they'll be on the weeks where there's no live stream. So you get 1 week of live stream, 1 week of recorded content. And we are starting to put in and get in contact with sites to see if we can do some investigations in the local area. Hit a bit of a hiatus this weekend because I've actually moved. That took up a lot of my time this weekend because I've moved from one boatyard or marina to another one. I've got a few issues to sort out, which will be from the other channel when I get it going. So yeah. But next couple of weeks we will be putting in, we will put in the effort into hopefully get some new sites to go and visit, which should all be Southend based. The start of it will anyway. We've got places to check out as well around the area that I've moved to. Canby. I'm there, Canby bod.
You
That's not Bentley.
I thought you were Bentley.
I'm Canby. I know.
Ah.
Anyone that's watching for Canby, I do apologise. If you are from Canby, you probably know where I've moved to.
Canby is the only place where I can drive and have no clue what direction I'm facing.
Yeah.
Really?
It's the only place in the entire country where I don't know whether I'm north, south, east, west, up, down. I just don't know where I'm going.
Look up in the sky.
Yeah, I know the sun, all of that. What on the clouds today, you dick? Richard.
You want to try?
And no, I said Richard. Dick's your name, isn't
After
it?
you called me a dick.
No,
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 my name's
no,
Jeff.
no,
No, my
your
name's
name.
Jeff.
No, it's changed now.
You want to
You
have it?
might have changed it, well, now my name's
There you
Jeff.
go then, so you know your dick. But the point is, I don't know where I am. Like, completely.
Canby is a strange area, it has to be said, and it's like when you spend any time on Canby, as I do for my job, it's like they sort of made it up as they went along, because you get roads that are like a car and a half wide, and they just stop, and then they stop, and then there's a bit of rough terrain, and then you get onto another bit of road. It's yeah, certainly an odd place, but there's plenty of history there, which for us will be a good thing. So
I don't think we've got a Canby alive after this live.
I'm glad.
Oh yeah, you bunch of gits.
It's
Yeah.
you, yeah.
I don't mind Canby. I like the little, I like the cinema down there.
Oh, no good saying you like it.
I
you
was
know.
very
Really
glad
star.
that it survived. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, it's still
really,
going.
really glad it survived the lockdown.
And it's very reasonably priced.
It's
from what I
very
understood.
reasonable.
I worked on the doors in Canby at the haystack.
Oh no, the haystack.
Oh, what
Yeah.
a shed.
And
But that was a long time ago, wasn't it, Jeff? It's since changed and it's been
Oh, last week.
last week. It was shut last week.
No, it were about 18 years ago, 19 years ago.
Mm.
Yeah, it wasn't the nicest place to work.
Yeah, I remember. I've been there once or twice myself, and it was interesting. But so yeah, there we go. So that's basically what's been going on with the channel. I don't know what I do need to do. Fire up my tablet.
Yeah, you need to.
so fire up your tab.
Fire up the
Get
tablet.
responses.
Yes.
Fire up the Quattro.
Fire up the Quattro. So yeah, bear with us. I'm just going to get the tablet so we can read comments.
Bear with.
Bear with. This is fully charged, so that should be okay. That's the one thing we did forget.
So we could go out and do some evening visits now it's lighter as
I ain't
well.
going out with you, mate. I've seen dead with you live.
Cool, because it's lighter now in the evenings. We could do
Yeah.
evening ones as well.
Yeah, we do open sites. That's all good.
Yeah, we've
Or-
got to get them
Or
first.
we could have like a movie evening and watch Life of Brian. And then watch Holy Grail.
For the uninitiated, we was having a
Like it.
little discussion before we went live, and it's shocking to
Education.
find out that Karen's not watched any Monty Python. So
Never watched.
I'm not going to be the only one.
No, you won't be the only one. There's about 3
Yeah.
others.
Yeah, the other people haven't been born yet.
I am not the only one.
To be fair, I have never watched a Star Wars, and I've never watched.
Game of Thrones?
You have not watched Star Wars.
I've never watched a Star Wars, and I've never watched a James Bond film.
And you've got the cheek to say the Karen.
Yeah, but James Bond is all the same.
Yeah, James Bond's rubbish. Star Wars is for like kids that ain't grown up yet.
Game of Thrones.
Ah, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, if I was a
Game
kid
of
when I
Thrones.
watched it.
See, they
Well,
know.
yeah, you've got an excuse.
Me too.
And then I was a big kid when I watched the later ones.
See, knows.
What,
I have
Game of
watched Game of
Thrones?
Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for somebody in the 50s not to watch, because she's in the 50s, by the way. For somebody not to watch,
I was just,
had a hard life, bless her. For somebody not to watch,
It's alright, it's all up here.
She's taking it in, drinking it up.
it's
Yeah.
alright, she'll have forgot it by tomorrow.
No.
It's her age, you know.
Karen, it's women you're talking about, mate. They don't
Oh,
forget.
yeah, they'll
They do
remember
not
it, don't they?
forget.
Yeah, they're like elephants, aren't
Yeah,
they?
you're right.
space elevator's still a thing.
Anyway.
Kids join.
I won't go on about it, but
So we could go to do some evening ones as well.
yeah, you've got it wrong.
Oh, well, that's good. I know I'm live. I just want to need to change the channel. Which is that one now? Hi, right, yeah, okay. This is how long it's been since it's fired up, because I've just got your message about Rudy's new number.
Oh, have you not got WhatsApp on your phone?
Yeah, I've got WhatsApp on both
Oh,
of these, but this,
okay.
my tablet hasn't been turned on for about 2 weeks.
6 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about that.
Anyway, so I hope everybody's
He's alive.
week's been well so far. That's my contribution to the lab.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Short and sweet. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he managed to create a sentence without mentioning
What's the sentence?
without mentioning Monty Python.
That's good.
Speaking of Monty Python,
Instead we'll get Chuck
Meaning
Norris.
alive.
Oh, you took the words out of my mouth.
See,
Took the words
we
right
and
out of my
Karen,
mouth.
we know.
what?
Yeah. Nothing.
Nothing. It's over.
Oh, are you feeling left out now?
No, really.
Oh, okay.
Right,
Try harder.
They can have the conversations.
there we go. No,
Oh,
that's
Adam's
the
with it.
previous
No, he's
one.
not.
Oh,
No, it can't be that one, because I'm wearing a different hoodie. Let's go to...
How many
Who's
channels do you have?
I've got
Oh no,
this
don't worry.
one,
I didn't realise there were so many.
Adam's Autos, and Boat
Adam's Autos.
Yeah.
what's that about?
I reckon it's about playing Monopoly.
Well, you use the car that goes round
It's
it.
exciting,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Right.
And instead of buying, you know, like
Yeah,
hotels, they buy garages.
Carriages.
Garages
That's a good one. I like that.
Right.
and petrol stations.
That's a garage.
That's not the garages
Car
where you
wash.
have your car done. Car wash. Oh my god. We could do like Monopoly Auto.
Oh, shit.
Also Monopoly.
Yeah.
What a stupid idea.
I think it's a great idea.
What, Auto Monopoly?
We could do
Yeah.
gay off
Car wash.
Monopoly.
Car wash? Yeah.
Showroom.
At the car wash. Yeah.
Or we could do
No, you think it's a
Game of
stupid
Thrones
idea.
Monopoly.
No, you think it's a stupid idea. We could
could-
do
we
Life
could
of
buy-
Brian
We
Monopoly.
could buy twat. Yeah, but Karen won't be able to play it. She's never seen it.
No, so we'd win.
I didn't notice your car looks remarkably clean.
Yeah, 'cause I've had it clean.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the end of that one.
Yeah.
Right. Or we started earlier.
It's like I'm asleep then.
Yeah, the
That was a
Southend
little prelude.
Paranormal. We haven't talked about anything remotely paranormal.
Oh, there's
No,
a ghost.
We've
There you
talked
go.
about Karen's failure in life.
You're Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris.
Yorkshire Chuck
We've had his
Norris.
permission to do this tonight, by the way. So, anyway, moving on swiftly, here come all the notifications. My tablet hasn't been fired up for a couple of weeks, so
Here we go.
Jesus.
10 hours later.
Yeah.
Ding.
So yeah, we're going to talk about past lives. So I think the first question would be, who's had a past life regression? Me. So 3 out of us,
Kind of.
kind of, and I haven't.
Yeah, you
Kind
did
of.
one, didn't you?
Yeah, but it wasn't very.
In your past
No,
life,
it was,
did
yeah.
you watch?
No.
It wasn't about them.
In her past life, she was Brian.
That could have been.
Always look on the right.
Yeah.
So I suppose we better go around and everyone can explain their
Go, Rudy.
yeah. So
She was incontinent in your buttocks.
you were incontinent to your buttocks.
I've got no idea what you're talking
No.
about.
She haven't. It's
It's
just
in Life of Brian, don't worry about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be an all-night thing. Oh, it's like Brian, don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Monty Python, don't worry about it.
So yeah, okay. So Rudy, if you want to go first and talk about your past life regression.
Yes, it's certainly an experience and a half, I'd say, because you don't realise that it was you at some stage but it doesn't look like you. You know, it's quite strange seeing yourself, and you're sort of in shock because it's not you. You know, it's not you at present. It was you all that time ago. And some of the things that we done in the past life weren't good. You know, very bad. And I suppose that's why you come back to relive certain stuff to put things right. And your family seems to revolve around different members, you know. I mean, your brother could have been your mother and all that kind of thing, you know. Male could have been female, you know, you revolve around.
I'm talking to. I'm sorry, man.
You
Sorry.
revolve
sorry.
around, you know, you could be male or female in your past lives. So you do get a crack at the whip, as they say. But yeah, it'd be interesting if anyone does want past lives. I'd sort of go for it and see what you think, because it is very interesting and eye-opening as well. Also, can be a bit shocking because not everything you see would be to your liking. So get ready for that.
Okay. So how was you regressed? How was it done?
Well, I was sitting in a group at the time. We call them circles because there's quite a few in the group. But we was the sort of experienced, you know, gifted people, I suppose, were taken in another room where we done the past life, and I had to apologise to a woman that I sent to be a concubine in China. I was her uncle, and I was a nasty bit of work. I had lots of money. That's probably why I've got nothing now. I created a very bad situation. I sold her into slavery, where she met the Chinese ruler's son. They fell in love, forbidden it was at the time, and they were executed. And I was the evil uncle, and I saw myself there, and I was quite horrified and shocked. Didn't look like me at all, but when I'd done the rescue, I had to do the rescue and apologise to this person, this woman, and she came in to the group because the guy who's running the circle, his name's Jonathan, who's very good medium, and he came in, he said, before this happens, do not talk, do not say anything, because she'll know it's you. And I'm thinking, okay, so she came in, he coaxed her in the group she had a little dog, you know, and he was talking to her, and I coughed, and she knew straight away who it was, and she said, who's that, you know, and then he had to tell her, and fortunately, God willing, she forgave me for all that, for being the evil uncle. She forgave me. I was quite, you know, it's quite emotional at the time, all this. That was one of my past lives. There's others where it's totally different scenario. I was a Red Indian, and you know, I saved people. I saved, you know, people. There was good and bad situations in these past lives. I've had a few, and I looked at a few of them, and yeah, and it's like watching a movie, you know. But it's you. You're looking at yourself in different periods of time, in different circumstances. So I can understand why we learn things. We have to come back to learn sort of stuff, and that's the kind of the idea of it. I think, you know, this regression. That's why we regress, because we go up towards enlightenment. Apparently, this is the whole idea, the whole concept of karma and learning to be enlightened and perfect. That's all I've got to say, really.
Okay. So, I've got a couple of questions. Firstly, would you say any memories of that past life have they impacted you in your present time?
It's made me who I am today. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I am a very sensitive person. You know, and I am subject to a lot of vibrations and emotions. I pick that up quite easily, and it's been attuned throughout my childhood. Really, I've always been, ever since I was young. I was brought up with all this gift. Or it could be a gift, could be a curse, depending on which way you look at it. I mean, now I realise my weaknesses. I know my weaknesses. I've been attacked several times, different ways, and I've strengthened my abilities. I've strengthened my defences. You have to do this. This is a thing that you learn when you're sensitive, because you're susceptible to the outside influences. You're susceptible to any kind of disturbing influences that see your beacon of light, you know. So, and they're attracted to that. So you get nice and not so nice. Like in everyday life, there's people, you get evil people, you get good people. It's just the balance of two sides of the coin, and you have to get that balance. You know, you do have protection, rituals, protection, and it's mostly done through the mind. And the mind, I don't see spirit through my eyes, I see in my mind's eye, you know, because I've learned to do that. But you have to protect yourself. If you're sensitive, you've got to protect yourself, got to cleanse your aura, got to cleanse your chakras, you've got to meditate, and that's it really.
Okay, so that, would you say that your experience as the uncle to that Chinese lady, would you say that was your most recent past life, or was there any after that?
I think that was the most recent one I can remember. I mean, this past life regression was in the 90s, in the 90s, yeah. So it's quite a few years ago, but I still remember it. I even documented a lot of it, but I haven't really. I was going to write a book about all this, but yeah, I haven't got the vocab or the words to do this. I would love to write a book about how I got into this scenario, how I became what I am today, and the experiences I had with other people as well, and scenarios I've had with other people, and entities, you know, and situations. I would love to write a book about that. Even the group who was running the group, the guy who's running the group, he wrote a book and he said, "Do you mind if I use you in my book?" And I said, "Yeah," but I still haven't read it. I don't even know what it you know what it is. But so yeah, it'd be a good thing to do. But yeah, this is, you know, I mean, it's who you are today that counts really. and how you treat people and come across to people, you know, that is very big. You know, if you were cruel in the past, you know, like I say, karma has got a way of catching up with you. Maybe not then, but now, yes, definitely.
Great. What would you think? Would so you said you've had other ones. Was there anything that was older, any older experiences?
I can't think of that.
Earlier time, should we say?
Earlier time?
Yeah.
What do you mean earlier time?
As an earlier part of history.
Yes, yeah. I've had earlier regressions as a Roman soldier. I remember being a Roman soldier, and
Because
yeah, not quite.
not quite. In continuity of button.
Yeah. But seriously, no, Roman soldier. I remember being that, and I left the Legion because I was disgusted with obviously the governments there, and didn't like the way they treated the people, so rebelled against that. You know, yeah, I remember that. I've been an assassin. That's nice.
Wow.
Way back. You know, I don't remember much about that, but I knew it wasn't good. And this evil uncle, very rich uncle, and they're the ones I sort of do remember, you know. And of course the Indian, the Red Indian, which was very much like my features today. Yeah, so that's all I can remember really.
Well, that's quite an experience.
Well, I'd suggest if you really want to know about your past life, regressions, I think you should really get ready for hearing the good as well as the bad, and this is how you was, not how you are. So, but it does make up for who you are now. So, and how you treat the world now.
Well, quite a thing.
Over to someone else now.
All right. So, Jeff.
Hmm?
So, what was your experiences when you done the regression?
I had it about 6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago. It was a lady that we knew. She's gifted in doing it, apparently. And you know what happened?
We've got the circle.
And the streaming circle.
Oh, I thought I fucking told.
We're still going on here. It might be just a tablet. So, yes, go on. Carry on.
Okay, cool. Yeah, basically, I sit on the fence with everything like this, as you know. So I had to be proven wrong again. She explained what was going to happen. I was sat on like a beanbag type thing.
Yeah.
And she was doing like the drumming noises, and I kind of like. I always like to be in control, so of me surroundings and things like that. And I don't like being at the mercy of anyone. And she basically put me under from what I can remember. And up to then, I not really studied Vikings. I didn't know anything about Vikings. I didn't know. I'd watched a film with my dad, but I didn't know a thing about Vikings. And then she was writing it all down, what I was saying, and I come out with names of Vikings. Basically, I was a Viking, and I had a son and a daughter and a wife. I've got all the transcripts at home, actually, what she wrote down for me. Yeah, so basically I was a Viking, and I had a wife and a daughter and a son, and that was it.
Live the Viking life.
Yeah, and that's what made me think about Vikings and study Vikings and that. So yeah, so that's my only experience, to be fair. And yeah, the only thing I can remember when I come out of it, when she brought me out of it, I was really thirsty. So I had a pint of Skull.
Hey, pint of Skull
No,
lager.
but no, all joking aside, I was actually very thirsty. It makes your mouth really dry or something.
I suppose you're talking a lot on you.
Yeah, boy.
Could be.
So, yeah, I come out of it, it took about half an hour.
Right.
I didn't feel weird about it or anything like that. I was just like, because I thought it was a pile of crap. She was telling me about it a week before. She goes, oh, I do past life regression. I'm like, oh, God, here we go, whatever. You know what I'm like. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, okay. I said, what happens then? And she told me what she does, and I'm like, right, okay, whatever. So she got me to relax. She goes, you've got to come in with an open mind. Don't start being all defensive on me. So I'm like, all right, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll go in with an open mind. I'll relax, this, that, and the other. And then she started doing this drumming thing. And the vibration, is it vibrations you call it from the drum, is it?
Yeah.
Frequency, yeah.
Frequency, yeah. So, and it must have done something because I went out like a bloody light. And then I just started talking. She was asking me questions apparently.
Right.
And I just started talking, and like I say, I didn't know one end of a Viking from another. But I come out with all these Viking names and that. And then when she brought me out of it and we were talking about it, I'm like, what the hell's that?
You've got no recollection of saying any of it.
Nope. And I can, on
Do you
my
remember being there?
children's with that. And I'm one of these people that sits on the fence with all of this.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
yeah.
So-
But do you remember being there as a Viking?
Do I remember that?
Yeah, like, so when you had your past life regression, do you remember being in that
I remember
environment?
seeing a figure, a male figure, which I presume was me.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I can't really go into massive detail about it because
Because she was asking you questions, but you don't remember what she was asking because you was under.
no.
Because
Yeah.
you was
Yeah.
sort of there.
It was,
You
to
was
be
back
fair,
where you were.
it was quite surreal, really. I mean, I think if I had another past life regression, and if it worked, I think I'd be more attuned with it. Would
Yeah.
that be better? Because
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was letting myself
You'd
in
be more
for.
receptive.
Be more relaxed.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
receptive.
I didn't know what I was letting myself in for, to be fair, and I thought it was a pile of crap. But obviously not.
Mm.
So, you know, and I'm one of these people that I'm like, no, I want to be right about this. This don't happen. This don't work. All this vibration thing of rah, don't happen. Well, I've been proven wrong and that were it. And so I've got nothing to hide. I'd love to say, nah, it didn't work, sorry, not a load of crap. But it worked.
Right.
It was very interesting, but yeah, that spurred me on to do my family tree and to go as far back as I could and this, that and the other, and it turns out that I have got, you know, we do come from the Viking side through Ireland and then through Norway.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't done the past life, but my curiosity stemmed from where my name came from, and it's tracing that
Yeah.
back and then a family line. You put two and two together,
Yeah.
and it was like where you were from, the Norwegian.
Yeah, we
Yours,
talked about this before,
yeah.
haven't we?
Mine, from what I could see, were from the Danish.
Yeah.
Were from Denmark, so that was the Ragnar Lothbrok
Yeah.
thing. If you know, if you want to look at that. So, so I've got a couple of questions for you. Now, bearing in mind we visited Ashington, would you say that the regression experience you had placed you there, or was it another?
No,
So you wouldn't have said it placed you there.
no,
It was at a different site.
definitely a different.
Okay. So it might be a case that you've done it a couple of times.
Well,
So you might have lived as a Viking in a couple of lives.
right,
So that's a possibility.
okay.
Okay, so the other one was was there any others that came through, or was it just that experience?
Just that experience.
Just that experience.
Yeah. Apparently it was about half an hour, roughly half an hour from what I can remember. What
Okay.
she told me. And I was just gabbling on me. It's if I'd have thought about it, I could have dug out off somewhere when we moved. So if I can find out the transcripts of what she wrote down, I'll bring it in because
Yeah.
it shows you her questions, my answers, and I'm reading it. When I went downstairs and that, and Karen were downstairs with her husband, and we were all having a chat. And I'm like reading this, and I'm like, "Who's that?" And she's like, well, that's your wife. And I'm like, cough. And I'm like, yeah, can't argue it.
So you might be, from the transcript, you might be able to have a geographical location of where you might have been based.
And
So-
research, do the research on that, on the on the names
Yeah.
coming through.
Yeah, there could be like a colloquial, like a particular area that was synonymous with those names.
Well, apparently, well, we traced it, because Sue helped me, that's the lady that did it, she helped me go through like a bit of a history of it all and that, and that's what pointed me through Ireland and up through the Norwegian side and stuff.
Mm. Yeah, as I say, from my experience, it was like, looking at my surname, but this is my life, and as in the ancestry side, not as what the previous lives I've lived. So I could have lived
Yeah.
a completely different life as a Swedish Viking at some point.
Yeah.
But from this life and from this life's ancestry,
Or,
there was a strong concentration of my surname within Anglia. So it's all
Yeah.
Essex, Norfolk, Suffolk, Cambridge. There was a strong concentration of my name in that area,
yeah.
and that ties in with the Danish Vikings.
See, I used to be really interested in the Romans. I studied the Romans a lot, and so this could be, you're the professional, you tell me, right, when I tell you this. When I was married to Heather, when we had our honeymoon in Rome, we weren't too far from the Colosseum, and I've always wanted to go to the Colosseum, hence Heather booking Rome was a surprise for me and all this lot, rah rah. Anyway, I'm gearing up to go down to the Colosseum, I'm getting really excited about it. And Heather, ask Heather about this, and she tells it better. When I was walking up to the Colosseum, I actually got to the Colosseum and I put my hand on there, and Heather said she could physically see me changing.
Yeah.
I just turned into a different person. Every time I put my hand on the Colosseum wall, and considering this is the person, I'm like, oh God, how long ago were it? 18 years ago, I think we were married,
Yeah.
whatever. So it's quite a long time ago, and I was a different, you knew me then, I was a different person then.
Yeah.
I was like an angry person, I'd
Yeah.
gone through a lot. None of this, I didn't know anything about past life regression, I didn't know anything about anything like this. I was just like an ex-doorman, just a horrible person.
Not very spiritual.
No, spiritual, nah. There was no such thing as God, no such thing as past life, no such thing as ghosts, you're all bloody idiots. So none of this entered my mind, but when I went to Rome, anyway, long story short, put my hand on the side of the Colosseum and I heard swords, I could see people fighting in the Colosseum, I could hear men screaming, this, that and the other. Took my hand off, and I'm like, yeah, I had too many drinks last night, I'm not having it. So anyway, I'm like, I'm going to give this a benefit of the doubt, right? So we had a walk around the Colosseum, and every time I'd like, it's as if I saw something in the Colosseum, like, I don't know, some sort of statue in the Colosseum that was there or whatever. And I'd be able like a flashback or something, or I could see something, or I could hear a noise, or swords clanking or something like that. And I'm thinking, no, I'm imagining this. I've watched too many Roman films, and this is just my imagination going away with me. So I'm like, no, whatever. I'll bite the bullet on this one.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was playing on my mind all day, and we went to the bar in the evening. I went to bed. Got up in the morning. I said to her, right, I'm going to go down to the paper shop that's next to the Colosseum.
Yeah.
Because there's a little paper shop and they sell like pastries and that. And ended up getting some bits and bobs, and I thought, I'm going to go to the Colosseum. So I went to the side of the Colosseum, and I thought, if this happens again, there's something in this.
Yeah.
And I put my hand on the Colosseum side of the wall, closed my eyes, bang, it was there again.
Right.
And I thought, right, went back up to the hotel, said to Heather, I said, it's happened again. She goes, right, okay, fair enough. I said, right, I want to go back to the Colosseum again when everybody's up and about and all the guides are there and everything like that. And I went up to a guide and I told her, I said to the guide, look, it's happened yesterday, it's happened this morning. She went, oh, you're not the first person.
Yeah.
She goes, you're not the first person it happens to. And she goes, are you a fighter or in now? Or, you know, do you do boxing? Do you do martial arts? And stuff? I goes, yeah, I've done boxing. I'm an ex-doorman. I'm a doorman, and
Yeah.
so I've played rugby. So I've got quite a lot of violence in my life and that. But you know, and she went,
There you go.
perfect candidate.
Yeah.
She goes, you were probably a gladiator, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And I think she did mention past life in your past life, but I didn't know there was such thing as past life regression.
Yeah.
Then she goes, probably in your past life you were a gladiator or such and such. And I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. And I just like batted it off after that.
Yeah.
Well, you usually find how you are now. Like some people have phobias and that, and they, you know, and all this, and frightened of water or spider or anything like that. You know, you usually find that goes not necessarily now, but way back.
Mm.
You know.
So you could have been a bigger stickers as well, then.
I don't know.
So.
Let's not go. Oh,
No,
we're not even going to go there with that one.
So yeah, so that
Yeah,
again, that could have been a past life encroachment.
Or you could have been picking up the energy. From
Yeah, I was
the
going to say the other thing is don't take fear.
like just reading.
Mm.
Yeah,
energy,
you can pick that up. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
I mean, it surprised me because, like I say, I'm one of the biggest skeptics out there. And I wasn't in the right frame of mind for that sort of thing anyway. There's no way I'd have believed in that sort of thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
But not then.
I mean, it happens to the most hardened skeptic. You know,
You know, it's-
and these things do
Yeah, but they
happen.
explain it away, don't
Because I literally went up to the Colosseum, I was like, wow, because I'd like read about it and I'd studied it and this, that and the other, and I was fascinated by Roman history and that. And I'm like, wow, I'm actually here. And I put my hand on it and it was like, bang, bang, and I'm like, what the f happened there? And Heather went, my God, she goes, you like, your face, your expression just went blank. And then I did it again and it's like, oh, you know, I could like hear swords and this, that and the other. And like I said, when I was walking around there, I could like, every so often like flashback or something like that. But
Not only that,
apparently now that's past life regression.
not only that, there's so much energy in that kind of place.
Mm.
You know what? Knowing what I know now and about hanging around with you guys and learning what I've learned and things like that, I would love to go back to the Colosseum now and see what happens.
Yeah.
I'd probably get quite emotional. You should probably see me standing there in the middle of the Colosseum.
Yeah. I mean, I just so I haven't done mine yet, but I had a experience when going to Manston, the Manston Airport Museum. You know.
Yeah.
We went.
Yeah, the Sopwith Camel. Now, I know it's a replica, but I got emotional when I saw it.
You might have some sort of connection to World War I.
Yeah. All I know is, like, I have a love of flying, I have a love of the water, so I have a love of travelling.
There'll be triggers, won't there, that will relate you back to
Yeah,
the past
I
life.
just got emotional when I saw that Sopwith.
And you look old enough to say you've actually flown one.
Good one. Yeah, yeah.
Just saying.
You could call you a Viking Beatles, couldn't they?
Lord
Right.
Flashheart with his flying aces.
in
Lord
Beatles.
Flashheart.
The 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Viking Biggles. No, I like that.
That's a good episode.
VB.
Blackadder, that is.
VB.
Flashheart.
He absolutely stole that with
Rick
Mail.
Mail, when he kicks the door in.
Always treat your kite like you treat your woman. What do you mean? Take her home and meet your mother at the weekend? No, get inside her 5 times a day, take her having a back.
That was the episode where it was like Bob, he had
Yeah.
he had a male servant called Bob.
Yeah.
Female
Bob, I
servant
want
called
something.
Bob.
Take it.
So,
Anyway, we
past
digress.
life regressions then, the ones that you remember the most, are they the most, obviously the most vivid as you're remembering them, but they're the one that have been most, not prolific within your past life, but why do you remember some of
Specific
yeah,
ones,
more
yeah.
than others?
Because the ones I remember are the ones that were shocking. You know, that really
check
took
the messages.
baked my noodle, to be honest.
So why do you remember some and not, I mean, how many lives do we have? I mean, like, why then do we only remember certain ones?
I can't remember all at once, you know,
No, but then what makes certain ones
Trigger. A trigger from
Yeah,
here.
like Gloria said, it could
So
be
it's,
anything.
it's like deja vu, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like,
like,
oh,
yeah.
what the hell's all
That's
that?
just Heather and Karen that's commented, that's all that. Heather's just saying hi all and Karen. is I'd like to know about my past life because I often get deja vu,
There
thinking
you
I've
go,
been on a
there
place
you go.
before.
Yeah.
So,
Is that my Karen?
Deja vu is quite often explained away by astral projection, not past life.
Oh, astral projection.
yeah, so that,
Yeah,
that
that's
is
it.
another.
That's
yeah.
another. That's
Unless,
another avenue, isn't it?
unless you. So I used to date a guy when I was in my early 20s, and we went down to Folkestone, and we'd never been there. I'd never been there before. He hadn't. His parents had never taken him, and I don't remember whereabouts we were, but we were in a pub. We'd stopped for something to eat, and
So carry on, see if I get
he
this.
said to the guy, "Isn't there a clock tower around the corner?" And like the man at the bar, he said to the barman, and the barman went, "Yeah, there used to be about 25 years ago." Well, Simon was 19,
So he wasn't even
Well,
born then.
well
No.
before his time.
and he said, "Did your parents live here?" And so I went, "No, I've never been here." And we walked, we came out and walked around the corner, and you could see where the clock would have been.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was just really strange.
That was good you got that information, though.
Yeah, but he used to astral project while he slept. It was very strange.
What is astral projection?
So it's where you're, so when you sleep, your soul leaves your body, it hovers above your body. So when you wake up really quickly, it's because it's jumping back in, for
But
whatever reason.
But
But you can go where you like, so you don't have to stay here. You can, bugger off and do some travelling. So
But you
and
don't
you can
have
teach
to be
the
asleep
other
to
things.
do that,
Brilliant.
do you?
no, but it's better if you
It's
are.
better if, I mean, you could be, like you say, in a state of, like relaxation, like
Meditation, yeah.
meditation.
But
And
that's
then
when you
go-
that's when you do it consciously. That's when you do it on purpose. I think someone used to do it without realising he'd done it.
Okay.
So
Is this
he'd
your-
get
is this
up.
your partner at
My
the time?
ex, yeah. So he'd get up and go downstairs to get a drink, and his mum would be ironing, and he'd come back to bed not think anything of it.
Right.
And he'd wake up the next day and go, "It's really weird. I got up to get a drink last night," and he said, "When I come back to bed, I looked at myself lying in bed. He said it must have been a dream." He got up, so we got up, went downstairs, and the ironing board and the iron was still out. When we'd gone to bed, his mum wasn't ironing, the kitchen was empty. So he'd seen it while he was sleeping. Very strange. He didn't even have a glass of water on on his bedside table where he'd gone downstairs to get a glass of water. So, a bit odd. But yeah, so you can attribute certain deja vu things to astral travel or
Yeah.
astral projection.
Right, explain this, right? Right, we're going to go off subject a little bit here because we're on about it should be past life regression,
Okay.
but it's kind of out of body experiences, things like that. In the 90s, I was working on a door. Long story short, basically, I got turned over and I got stabbed multiple times. Got the shit kicked out of me. I was found by an off-duty copper and rushed to Great Northern Hospital in Sheffield. Basically, died on the operating table. They brought me back, and when I was in the recovery room, I was with my mum, my dad, and a guy called John who we used to run the security company for. And the surgeon, I didn't know who he was or anything like that. And the surgeon actually came into the room, and just before he said anything, I actually shook his hand. I reached out and shook his hand and I went, "Thank you." And he went, "What are you thanking me for?" And I went, "You saved my life." And he went, "How do you know?" And I went, "I watched you do it." And this is another thing. I said, I watched you do it.
I bet he wasn't surprised, was he?
And he said this has happened to him loads of times.
Yeah.
And he said, right. He said, okay. He said, what can you remember? And I'm like, right. I said, have you got a piece of paper and a pen? He went, yeah. He gave me his clipboard and a piece of paper, and I drew. I didn't draw it perfectly, but I kind of drew a rough map of the operating theatre. I got the amount of people wrong by 2. I put there were 7 people in there was only 5, but I got the actual end to the door right, and where everything was actually happening, I got it to within such and such, to within a few feet, and this, that, and the other. And I told them how many times I'd died on the operating table. I died once on the operating table, and they brought me back, and I died again. And he said no. He said this has happened to me quite a few times. He said I've actually documented it, this, that, and the other. And he says, would you be willing to?
Carry on.
He said, would you be willing to, to do an interview over this at some point after you've recovered and that? I went, yeah, but I never got interviewed
Is
or
that
anything
similar
like
to
that.
near-death experiences though?
Yeah.
Oh, they call it OOD,
Yeah.
don't they? Out of body experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
there's
apparently
there is a surgeon who
Near death.
puts a playing card on top of a cupboard in his, because it happens so many times in his theatre, and he tells the person, oh, there's a card up there. That's all he says. He doesn't say anything else. And people who float up will tell him what the card is. It's Queen of Hearts, it's the Ace of Clubs, whatever. Because he's doing research on that. It's a well-known thing
Right.
that people do that. So, and you say, oh, I got the number of people wrong by 2. I said there were 7. He said there were 5. Yeah, 5 living people in the room.
Yeah, it might
But
be two
remember,
guides.
you were out of your body. You
Yeah.
will see other things. So there could have been 2 people in the operating
Yep.
theatre who had been doctors or nurses whenever, and they passed away. And this is where they're most comfortable.
Or two spirit, two
Yeah.
spirit.
Well, perhaps they were the spirit guides of the people who's operating on you.
Yeah, yeah.
Quite possibly,
Yeah.
yeah. So I wouldn't discount what you saw.
Because
Yeah.
they could have been, like, as I say, looking after you. Two guys that
Yeah.
making sure you're
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
And the other 5 were the actual, like Gloria said, they're the actual ones.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, adding all these things up together and knowing what I know now, with that past life regression, with the Roman thing of Colosseum, and that, and this, that, and the other, I want to try and open my mind up more now to it. And I suppose the ultimate one for me now would be to do, obviously in a controlled environment, a professionally controlled environment, is to do DMT or ayahuasca.
Yeah.
And that's when you go above the realm and you just basically see the lot.
Joe Rogan's covered DMT.
Yeah,
quite a
because he
lot.
did it with a guy called Dorian Yates, who's a famous bodybuilder, and he's gone really spiritual. Dorian Yates now,
Yeah.
properly.
DMT's
Oh,
okay.
Dorian Yates gone proper spiritual.
Yeah.
He lives
Your brain-
in
your brain
Spain. Lives in
DMT's
Spain.
chemical,
He's
isn't
with
it?
a
Yeah.
woman, and
You-
honestly, he's done DMT and
Yeah.
ayahuasca, and he
Yeah.
has
Brain produces it.
properly opened himself up to it. Oh, he says some of the things he saw and he's experienced, he says there's definitely another world out there, there's
Oh,
definitely
without
another
a
realm.
doubt, yeah.
Well, and that's coming
Many.
from Dorian Yates, who was like
I know, it's been back in the
hardcore
day.
bodybuilder,
Yeah.
didn't give a flying fiddlesticks about anyone else, just him, just hardcore training bodybuilder, didn't believe in spiritualism, nothing.
So maybe that's a conversation for
Another time.
another time.
100%, yeah, that'd be a really good one
Because
actually.
we know, the DMT and the Native Indians, or Native Americans, sorry,
Yeah.
are very well known for doing all that.
As I was saying before to you guys, you got to watch Serpent and the Rainbow because there was a shaman on there, and he says to, Bill Pullman, he says, drink this, and he's looking at his guy, and he says, if you don't want to drink that, he goes, all right, then he goes, drink it. Next thing you know, he's off. He's
Yeah.
like seeing
Literally
his spirit
different plane.
guy. He's off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be a good one, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
On one Wednesday
Alright.
to talk
So-
about, yeah.
You've
Alright,
got to
so
watch
make a
that
note of
film.
Yeah, we'll do.
Alright, so we'll note that for a next round table, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And,
Yeah, all right.
You,
yeah,
just,
so
you
Gloria-
just need to microdose.
Hmm?
You need to microdose because if you have too much, it's like, it doesn't work.
We could do it live.
I don't mind watching while you do it live.
I'll do it.
Oh, yeah. Ditto.
I'm not sure that will be allowed to be shared.
Possibly not. No, you'd probably have to.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Our viewers
Yeah.
know, but we won't tell anyone.
Yeah, so we don't
It's
recommend
not,
the
not
use
something
of.
I'd pass
There are
on.
Yeah, we do not recommend the use of
Any
hallucinogenic
substance like that.
substances.
No.
No.
yeah,
You should- and you
I will
shouldn't
apologise.
really-
Sorry,
Yeah.
I shouldn't
You
really
shouldn't
have
really if
said
you're
that.
going to be working with spirit.
No,
because
yeah.
it's the most natural thing in the world
Yeah.
to communicate with spirit because that's what you are. You shouldn't need
Yeah.
any of that.
Sorry, I apologise
Right,
for putting any idea in anyone.
Look, when I was in the circles, I never had any of that stuff, and I was travelling to places, God knows, so many beautiful places to see out there. I didn't need any.
Maybe
substance
maybe
like
I
that.
need to just get more in tune with my spiritual
Yeah,
self.
just
Yeah,
do
yeah,
meditation.
So right at the beginning of your journey,
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
you
Yeah, like she said, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So you're like a start. Karen's a bit further down, and I'm sort of bit more further down.
Skirting on the edge.
I must
Yeah.
admit. I mean, I'm trained in doing Reiki at a decent level.
Yeah.
I
What's
didn't
the
believe.
decent level?
Oh, there's like 3 different levels, and I'm second level.
Oh, okay, right. That's a decent
I'm
level.
like maybe.
Mid-level.
Mid-level.
I mean, I was thinking, but I'm not qualified healer.
Yeah, but I didn't believe in all of this, and I like when and you were like, no, you can do it. You've got a gift for doing it, and I'm like, nah,
Everyone,
what a load of crap.
everyone can be a healer.
Yeah.
Everyone can be a
I've
healer.
been able to do it with people. You know.
So, yeah, I've
I
done
don't
that.
know what I call what I do, but I've been able to do it with people.
Yeah, I do me pendulum, and I was. And when he was showing me the pendulum, and I'm like looking at his hand, and I'm like, nah, you're moving that. You're moving that. And he went, you do it then. And I'm telling you, I like pinned my hand. There's no way that thing is moving. I'm telling you now, it ain't happening. And the thing started going, and I'm like, fuck off. I'm like, no, I'm not having this. But
So Jeff, are you a skeptic now?
I'm still sceptic about some things.
I like trying to explain stuff away first.
Yes.
Should have
You
help
exhaust
skeptic.
all
So,
the possibilities,
yeah.
and then if you're left,
Yeah, I will.
Like,
I
you
will go.
cannot
I will.
physically explain it.
If you come
You
up with
can't
something
explain
that I
it.
haven't experienced
No, no,
or
it's
done,
Yeah, that's
I
what I
will
was
say.
gonna say. Yeah.
and I think
Something
this is
all
what I.
theory
And I think
sometimes.
this is what I bring to the channel.
Yeah.
I bring the other people's views, and I will hit it at every angle, and it's down to you guys
To show
to
otherwise.
show me.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So going back
Back
onto
to
the
Gloria.
topic, Gloria, your experiences in past life regression.
Yeah, so first one was about 15 years ago, and it was in a group, and it was at our church actually, and when I was much younger, I went to Canterbury, walked into the cathedral, and there was just, I don't know, can't explain how I felt, or I just didn't want to be anywhere else. Like, I was almost crying, it was just really bizarre. Not a particularly religious person. Grew up in the Salvation Army, and that kind of scared me, so yeah, anyway, so I didn't think any more of it, and then 15 years ago I did a past life regression, and surprise, surprise, I'd been a monk, but I couldn't see myself, I was myself, so I was living as I would have lived then, and the guy who was there with me, his brother, we'd gone into this big abbey, and we were sitting on the concrete. Well, it wasn't concrete then, it didn't have concrete back then. Tiled seats by the wall, and he said, "You've been here," and I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You've been here in this life." I said, "What do you mean the life I've got now?" And he said, "Yeah." And so this cathedral, this abbey, was right on the cliff. The only place I've been is Whitby Abbey. And I thought it doesn't. So we came out, and I looked. It was beautiful. It's lovely, beautiful gold stone, like Cotswold stone. This abbey. And I said to him, "I've never been here. I've never." He said, "You've been here. You've been here in this life." He said, "And you will come back." And I was like, "Okay." And to get to it, you'd walk round by the cliff, and you'd come round the path, and there was like a little lake, which I know there is a lake at Whitby, but I thought that was coincidence. You'd come round a few steps, and then you'd walk through this gate with a low wall, and the cathedral's right there with like three points. And so I thought, okay, fair enough, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm imagining it, or perhaps there's somewhere else I've been, I've forgotten, or somewhere else I'm going, and then it'll become apparent. I've never been to another abbey on a cliff, but a few years ago we went back. I've been back many times, and the thing about Whitby Abbey is it's black. It's really dark stone.
Yeah. And the church next to it.
Yeah, the church is amazing next to it. So anyway, we went in to see Whitby Abbey. While I was there, I was looking through the display. I'm not really a reader, and I was just thinking, right, okay, they were Cistercian monks here. Definitely not me. Not because I was a Benedictine monk, brown habit, rope round your waist.
Yeah.
And then we went in to look at the abbey, and it just took my breath away. They had cleaned it. It's made of gold stone, just stunning. And on the panel, they'd updated all their panels, and it had a picture of how it would have looked in its heyday, exactly the same as the place I'd been in my meditation. The inside had, I think they were like diamonds on the pillars and tiles on the seats. It was just really weird. Anyway, we came back through the display bits, and I was reading again about these Cistercian monks, and their tiny little paragraph. It said it was something like between 1120 and 1270. There was a small, like, satellite group of Benedictine monks, but it's never written about and it's never mentioned because
But that freaks
there was
you out.
never any trouble. We just existed, and I was like, oh my god. And I was like, oh, you got to read this. And I'm trying to tell the girls, and I'm trying to tell Liam, and no one cares. No one cares about my past lives. And I'm so excited. There's no one there I can tell. Because if I tell the people who work at English Heritage, I think I was nuts. So I just had to hold it all in, and it was really, really hard. But the monk who was there during my meditation was actually my guide, and his name is Brother Andrew. I want to call him Philip, but apparently he's Brother Andrew. And I'd met him in a meditation previous to that, but I hadn't made the connection. So that was the first one. And then we did one last year. You were at that one, weren't you, at the church? We're all laying around on the floor, as you do. And this guy came down and did a meditation. It was very brief, and it was probably not the deepest meditation I've ever done. But what I discovered, what I discovered is that I had been alive during World War II. I was married, I don't know if I had a kid, I had a wife, and I went to war. Now I thought I was English, but the landing craft were American, weren't they?
Yes,
The
yeah.
big.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
So
The
I
big cocktail ones.
yeah. So he
Yeah,
said.
American.
So what the guy who was doing the meditation said is he took us through periods in life. What were you doing as a child? Where did you live? What did you do at this age? And then he said, take yourself to the point where you pass. So I'm in this landing craft, and I'm hiding behind all this gear. I didn't know there was gear in the landing craft. I thought it was just a load of men, and people were throwing up and literally crapping themselves and weeing, and we were all terrified, absolutely terrified.
Yeah.
And the waves were really rough, and then it came to like some sort of grinding halt, and then I heard this
Beached.
bang as the thing
Yeah.
went down, and I'm hiding behind, I don't know what this is, and they're all going, "Ah!" And they're just running, and I can hear this gunfire, and there's a man, so I'm here, there's something here, there's the front of the landing craft, there's something here, and there's someone over there hiding behind something, it must be equipment or something, and everyone's gone, and the landing craft is empty, and I'm going, we can't move, they're going to find us, we can't move, and I was so scared. Anyway, it got dark, we came out, I don't know what happened to the other guy, and then I could hear the German language, so the German soldiers poking bodies to see if they was dead, but it was pitch black on the beach, so I just found a body, what a coward, I thought I could run for it, but where am I going to go? So I just found a body and like laid it over me and pretended I was dead, and the soldier got here, and then I woke up. Well, then he called us back, so I never actually knew if that's when I died, or if I was cutting off and died somewhere else.
So you could have been on D-Day then?
That was D-Day.
Yeah, you could
Oh, was it?
That was D-Day.
You could
Yeah.
have
Yeah, they only use landing craft.
D-Day landings.
I don't know.
That, I think.
With the
what-
Germans,
what
yeah.
was-
What, like the Dunkirk?
yes.
Yeah.
No, Dunkirk's when we
no,
got the soldiers back from
actually,
from
yeah.
Europe.
Oh, not
But D-Day,
Juno.
1944. D-Day, 1944
Because
is
they,
when
they landed on different
What's it called?
beaches. They landed on Juno, Omaha,
I've been to
Sword
Omaha.
and
and
gold.
Yes,
Gold.
now I've been to Omaha Beach. I've been to Aramonch in France, and that made me feel really. Where Mulberry Harbour is, that was a really strange feeling.
you might have
So-
landed on Omaha Beach.
Because there was the Brits.
It was. It's not really called Omaha Beach.
There was the Brits
Yeah.
and the Americans and was it Canadians or something?
Oh,
D-Day.
Canadians
Oh,
did
oh,
do
what's
them.
D-Day?
D-Day is when we
What's it
took the,
for?
we took the,
I'm sure I've learned this.
You've seen Private Ryan, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, that's D-Day. That was D-Day.
Yeah. Yes. Those crafts. Yeah.
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 I don't remember all,
yeah,
all the
LST.
bits.
I
I
think
don't
what was in
remember.
front, I was just looking, I think
But that's why I said I didn't think there
what
was
was
any
in front
equipment.
of you on that
It was
car.
all just people, but I've never been so scared in my life. It was horrible,
Yeah.
and everyone was scared. You could smell it.
I don't know if what I was seeing was wrong, but I was just having a look, and I think it was like I don't think they had MP60s back in the 40s, but it was a large repeating gun.
That might
I
have been
don't
a brown.
know.
That
There was
might
one.
have been a Browning.
There was one this
Browning.
that side
It was bigger than that.
and one that side, and then a gap,
Yeah.
so we could have got out.
Yeah.
but I just couldn't move. I was frozen. I
Terrified.
could not move. Yeah.
That's-
Until it all went quiet, and it was like hours and hours and
Some
hours.
of the
of
landing
gunfire.
crafts did take smaller vehicles to take the climbing gear for up the mountain,
Yeah.
Yeah.
cliff
Yeah,
face,
yeah.
and that he could be hiding behind one of them.
But I remember when I pulled his body over me, thinking, I'm going to get in so much trouble for this. Like I'm as good as a deserter. I should really just take what's coming. Strange, weird
You
thoughts.
could have gone off it. I mean, you could have been picked up and POW. You don't know.
No,
Unless
I
you
don't
go back and do
know.
it
I
again.
don't know how I.
So that was a really
Interesting to go
honest
back and do
experience.
it.
But I can
Yeah.
still see the house I lived in with the wooden table in the kitchen and my wife. And,
Yeah, I just got
Yeah.
this picture. It's like the thing that was in front of you was like.
yeah, and I have seen Saving Private Ryan, and that's where I'm thinking there's not anything in there. It was just soldiers in that one, and nothing else. But there's something there.
Yeah, they did carry equipment in some of the landing.
Well, I was hiding. What was?
Well, a lot
Not
of people,
really.
a lot of people were
Fight or
scared
flight,
shitless
isn't it?
in there. I mean, you can't blame
Fight
them.
or
Yeah,
flight.
but I've
going
been
on.
trained to fight anyway, and then
You didn't have a lot of training to go into World War II. You were drafted and
Yeah.
you were
And
like
I wasn't young.
couple of
I
weeks
was in my
training,
20s.
that's it,
I
you're
wasn't
off.
like a teenager.
They were very young, 18, 20s.
Yeah, and I wasn't. I was in my. I must have been in my mid to late 20s. But I know that I've had another life that's nothing to do with Earth. That's somewhere else out there, like a different dimension or a different planet. Or
Funny you said that. Yeah, you know, we have been to different planets and that.
yeah, you can incarnate wherever you like. You
Yeah.
don't have to come back here.
You
You don't
can-
have to come back at
You
all.
can go at any point in time.
Yeah.
Any point, anywhere. Amazing.
Well, if you believe that time doesn't really exist, they're not past lives. They are simultaneous.
As long as I don't reincarnate.
Basically, it's like a time machine, isn't it?
Huh?
It's like your own personal time machine. You just
But then
think of
you
something,
it's-
you're
can
there.
yeah.
choose.
Huh?
Do you just
Yeah, you don't
can
have to come
choose?
Yeah.
Or do you just does it just happen?
No, as I understand it, you choose.
I don't think you've got a
you
choice.
Can choose.
Okay.
No, you can choose.
Okay.
Because so the things we choose are our parents, and we choose the experiences we want to have, but not the experiences. Well, yeah, the experiences, but not the actual experiences. So, for example, I lost my husband. I didn't go right. Okay, I want to get married to someone who's going to die of a brain tumour. I just said
You
I
want
need
to-
to experience grief
I was
at a
gonna say
level
that,
that's
yeah.
not losing my parents because we're
That was
designed to
it.
lose our parents. I need to
Browning
experience
M
grief.
too.
And
Totally brand.
his
Yeah. That's what,
choices
that's what I
were.
said.
Big
Browning M
I
too.
don't know. He wants to die young. I don't know. I don't know what his choice would be.
Well,
But then we would have been matched up for that reason.
okay.
Is
That's-
that the
that's-
experience you need to feel or you want to feel?
Want to. So you don't
To
have to
learn.
reincarnate at all. You
Relearn.
can just be there and you can do all your learning in
Yeah, Browning M
spirit.
too. That's what I was.
That's the one.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying.
it.
But it will go
Every-
quicker
every
if
colour
you
Every
will
learn
machine gun.
it.
It was like an MP60.
Yeah, you
That-
can't
that
hide, you can't
size.
hide behind one of them.
No,
No, there was more.
No.
It wasn't. There was more. There was loads of stuff. You wouldn't
Yeah.
be able to see us. So maybe there was loads of them or
That was-
gear. I don't know.
yeah, that's,
Yeah.
I just said. That's just what
I
I
was so scared I couldn't even see what was there. I just know there was something there.
Yeah.
That must have been an awful situation. I mean, it's
It
like,
was. When we came back, I
Yeah.
was so relieved to be laying down in church. Like, because even though I knew where I was all the time,
yeah,
yeah.
but you're reliving it, aren't you? You're reliving
Yeah,
the
so I
feelings.
wasn't
Through those
looking,
different
I
ways.
wasn't looking at me. I was me.
You was
and,
you.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
don't know what I look like. I know I was a bloke.
Mm.
On both of my past lives that I know about, I know that I was a bloke. But, yeah, that was
I mean,
a
it's
bit
like
strange.
it's like being at one of these survivors at Auschwitz or one of these
Yeah.
concentration camps. Can you
Yeah.
imagine that going back? I mean, if I, people said, why didn't you go and
But maybe you can only go back
do that? And I thought,
to what your
no way.
current mind can cope
Take,
with.
yeah,
Tolerate, yeah.
take, yeah.
There's
If you-
things you need to
I
know.
think you nailed it when you said about if you had an experience when you come here, you get a choice of experiencing certain things, and if you haven't experienced them, then you get that choice to do it.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's not going to be a very pleasant experience, but who says life is going to be?
Well, I think my life as a monk was quite pleasant. I probably just, milked a
Well,
sheep
you've got the idyllic life.
and sheared a goat.
The most important
just
thing
think
about
it's-
your visit to Whitby Abbey, did you buy any mead?
I did.
Yeah,
I bought mead, but I also bought elderflower
Yeah, elderflower wine.
elderflower liqueur
Yeah,
from Whitby Abbey. I'm a sucker
it's
for
a
all
great.
their
That's a great
alcohol.
shop that they've got
The
there.
ancient,
Elderberry wine.
Yeah, great
I
shop.
just couldn't, I
I'd
couldn't
love to
share
visit this
with
Whitby
anyone.
Abbey.
Oh my God, I lived it because they've gone with you.
if you do want to take a trip up the Whitby, let me know.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, a fair bit in advance because I so want to go up there again.
Oh,
I
we should
think we
arrange to
should
go up
have
there for a weekend.
I
lot
think
of
we
us.
should have a road trip.
A week.
Road
We'd have to
trip.
take a week up there. Weekends.
I think no, weekend's not enough.
No, you need a week in Whitby.
A week?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh,
Oh.
wait, no.
Well, you don't have to be in Whitby all week.
No,
You do other places.
pop down to Scarborough. I mean, I still want to go to Benton.
Benton Cliffs.
I've not
Yeah.
It's
been
lovely
there.
there.
I've not been there.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'm not going there at night looking for your skinwalkers though. You and I can
I
stay
wanna
at the hotel
go.
cottage
I
and
wanna
chill.
go.
That's oh, the other place. Oh, it'll come back to me.
Yeah, Skidmore
Epic.
Garage in the States.
What the bloody
Yeah,
hell
Yeah,
is
but
it?
that's not what
No,
skinwalkers
no,
are.
here.
What the bloody hell are skinwalkers?
Epiphores.
Cryptids.
That's another thing. The subject.
But that's
yeah.
it's a misuse
Yeah.
for the word skinwalkers because skinwalkers originates from the North American
What
Indians.
is
Yeah,
it?
they're
North
actually
American-
cryptids.
Yeah.
Native
Right.
Americans, sorry, and they are these North American Indians, Native Americans that are known as skinwalkers, can flip between
Shape change.
dimensions. So you can
Yeah.
see them. No, they just disappear momentarily and then come back. They could have been gone for days.
You mean
They've
they?
just gone to another
You
dimension.
mean
and
they
come
can?
back. They can slip between
slip
dimensions.
dimensions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they're
Great.
called skinwalkers. I don't know why they're called skinwalkers actually. That's a weird
You'd
name.
think they were changing this.
Dimension skippers.
Yeah, well
Um,
maybe they do. Maybe they become aliens.
It's actually a description of cryptids. Now, cryptids are creatures that do not come under any established.
And you're hoping to come across one of these.
That's like Bigfoot.
On his
yeah.
own, I ain't going.
Bigfoot's one of those.
Big-
Mate,
It's a
if I'm with
cryptid.
you and I come across a skinwalker, mate, you're on your own, pal.
Jeff,
Oh, a big healthy chap like
If you
yourself.
come across a
Come on.
skinwalker, mate, you won't be coming home.
Look, mate, it's.
I can't believe I actually joined a paranormal group and I'm actually quite weary of ghosts.
Jeff, there's an old saying, right? You can't fear dead people. You have to fear the living more than anything
Yeah.
else. The
I
living
think
got
it'd be
worried.
nice
it's main, I suspect it's mainly UFOs. That it's a hot. That area is reputedly a hot spot for all sorts of different things, but it's mainly
Yeah,
UFOs.
and Lincolnshire.
You know, honestly.
That was a triangle in
Mm,
Lincolnshire, and
that's
it's
right.
really UFO.
So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, if we want to do a group trip
I
to
love Yorkshire.
Whitby,
I think a week's a long time.
5 days.
Oh,
5 days.
yeah. I'd be so up for that. When?
Saturday to
Monday to
Wednesday or
Friday
something.
then. Monday to
Yeah,
Friday.
all
maybe?
sorts. So it'll have to be next year though, won't it?
Why next year?
Because I've used all my holidays.
Okay.
How have you managed that?
Well, I've saved some for my operation for my hands.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Sorry, you have to take holiday for your operation. You can't just get time off sick.
But I won't get paid for it.
Are you on a 0 hours contract?
No, I'll only get sick pay and then I can't afford that.
You're joking.
Doesn't get full sick pay, gets just the
Statutory.
yeah.
Do you
Okay,
know what? I
that's
learn
good.
every day. I realise how
Everybody
lucky I
gets-
am
yeah.
in the job I'm in.
Oh, when I was on my
Absolutely.
previous job, when I was on my
Oh yeah, that
previous
would have
job,
been better. Yeah,
I get paid full pay for 6
that's,
months.
yeah,
more
that's
than
what I
it,
get.
No, I'm only with a small company now, so and rightly so, I don't get paid for this thing. So that's why I haven't
Wow,
been sick
that-
in 2.5 years.
Maybe
so,
a weekend then.
So that was your experience, the monk and the soldier. So
Yeah, but I know I've also had a life, or maybe I believe that all lives are simultaneous because
Yeah.
we create time.
Mm.
My head doesn't understand how that works,
Right.
but somehow in here I know it does. I don't know,
Mm.
but I do know there is another one that's not here, not on Earth, not in.
So
this
you've had
realm.
a life experience elsewhere. It's not,
Yeah.
not,
And
not
the
on
weird
this
thing is that I
realm.
get little snippets now and again, and I just think, oh. And then he goes, so the first one, we were doing a meditation while I was sitting in a circle, and we came back and we were talking about what we'd seen, and I was trying to explain what I'd seen, and I couldn't because I don't know what colour it was. I've never seen that colour in this life. And because I couldn't tell what the colour was, I couldn't tell what the thing was. Or maybe I didn't know what the thing was, or the colour. It's very strange.
It's like,
And my circle leader said, would you recognise it again? I said, yeah, and I've never seen it since. But then I have weird, not flashbacks like you, not like that, just like snippets. And I think, oh, okay, that's not from here either.
Like you dipped in and dipped out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't, and it doesn't seem to be any, well, actually, yeah, sometimes it's just I'm drifting off to sleep. So I suppose maybe it's a dream.
Could be. But
I
then
don't
again,
know.
you're
They're too
when you're
consistent.
drifting up to space, then you're
The
starting
valence
to
is thinnest
So
and you're
you could
close to
be
the other,
going,
you're most relaxed.
Yeah. So you could be going to that
Yeah.
realm.
So maybe it's not a past life. Maybe it is just me visiting. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so would you say that you've brought to this life, is there anything you would say you brought to this life from your past? Those are the two that were most prominent.
I am an empath, and
Yeah.
I think it's probably come from being a monk, because we're all like kind and caring,
Yeah.
and I don't, money doesn't really interest me. I'll be quite happy to live in the shed as long as I'm happy.
And with your cats and dogs.
And I'm a vicious bitch because I was a soldier. No, I'm a scaredy cat actually. I really am.
Any soldier that says they're not a scaredy cat are talking
They're
BS.
lying. They're lying.
Yeah. And any soldier that says they weren't afraid of
I mean,
But when I remember going, did I go to see Private Ryan? I think I watched it.
that was
It was
harrowing,
more
wasn't it?
recently. It was since I've had the
Saving
girls.
Ryan's privates.
Yeah, it was since I've had the girls. So it was after. Oh no, it wasn't. But I had a weird sensation when I watched that as well.
Maybe it was
But I
a
didn't
landing
make the
craft.
connection. I thought they used landing craft all the time. I just think that was how they very
No,
stopped,
as
didn't
I
they?
say, with World War II, it wasn't until 44 they affected.
But how else would they get everyone over there?
It was a, yeah, it was a massive.
Yeah, but a ship can't get really close to the land.
That's
No,
why
that's
why
not
they
that's
got
the
landing
North
craft.
landing craft.
Mulberry Harbour. Ah, yeah, okay.
Because the landing craft had more or less flat bottoms.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like-
I could hear it. I can still hear the as it comes up the beach.
Yeah.
And then that's such a big bang as that.
Maybe we
Yeah,
should go out and
it's a door
rib
going
and you
down.
can experience similar.
Go what?
Maybe we should go out and rib and I'll beach that and you can.
Rib?
Yeah, a boat, a little boat.
Oh, the tender.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll fly it up the beach and then chuck
Yeah.
you out.
Honestly, it's like, even now, my stomach's going out.
Really?
Yeah, and the hairs on my lips stand up. It was terrifying. Fucking. Oh.
yeah,
That is
we've
how
got-
terrifying it
Yeah,
was.
ducks.
yeah.
Ducks. Ducking.
Ducking. I don't have enough words to describe how scary it was. Like, just overwhelming.
Do you know what? Do you know what? I get the
It felt like
sense
my
you
heart was
have got.
literally going to come out of my chest.
Yeah.
I do sense you've got unfinished business with that.
Maybe I didn't kill the Jones.
I think you have to.
Maybe I need to go back.
Yes.
I
and see
think
what
you
happened.
have to go for part 2 now.
Yeah, I think there's a
Yeah.
part two on there.
You know,
Yeah, but I now
second
run
part.
the past life regression, so I will do the meditation so I don't get to lay there and go and visit anything.
No.
I do them from
Maybe you should
people.
run away where you could, because I think
Yeah,
you've got unfinished
maybe I'll
business.
record myself.
Yeah.
Take myself. Hear my voice.
Okay, so then that
Yeah.
leaves Karen. Have you had
Karen.
any?
So it was at the same
Yeah.
workshop. Would you call it a workshop?
It was an awareness group.
Awareness, yeah.
it was
So
a-
I'd not done anything before, and I hadn't even really meditated before, which obviously you need to do. So I've kind of, all I came out of it was with a couple of images, no noise, no moving, anything. It was like 60s, 50s, and it was a cross between, I was a man in, sorry, 40s roughly,
Okay.
and he was a cross between, I'm laughing as I'm saying it, Roy Orbison and Elvis. They had this massive
Yeah.
quiff kind of thing, and I can picture the house, the bedroom, or I think it was, maybe it was a flat, I don't know, but the lounge at the front was very dark, had floorboards, lots and lots of plants, big bay window, leathery sort of chairs, and then the back room was darker, and I just remember the fireplace. And then the other image was being in like an American car, like a Cadillac or something.
Yeah.
And it was left-hand drive, because I remember looking at an image and he had his arm out, and there were the seats that didn't have
Bench seats.
it was bench seats. And that's all, and it was a bright sunny day, and that's all that's stuck in my mind.
So was that you? Was it?
Yeah.
Driving that?
Yeah. Well, I'm watching, I'm not from through the eyes of it.
Yeah, you
I'm
actually-
watching.
Yeah, that's weird that
You actually
you
see
three
yourself, don't you?
look at
Look
you,
at
but
yourself.
I was me.
Yeah,
It's
Can't
funny, it's
find a mirror
like
to
two
see
different
where I
people, isn't it?
yeah.
It's like you looking at you.
No,
as a
no,
different
I was
person.
there. I wasn't
You-
looking
you-
at me.
you-
Yeah, and you
You
can
was-
also see
Yeah.
it from the
Yeah.
3D.
If
I
I'd been
wasn't-
watching, I
First person,
would
yeah.
have been
If you can compare,
removed and I wouldn't have been scared.
I-
You'd be
I would
looking at
say-
you.
if you can compare this to, let's say, a computer game, Call of Duty, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's first-person
First
perspective.
person.
Yeah.
So when you're the monk, you're experiencing in the first person. when you're playing games or whatever, when
Like
you've got
Assassin's Creed,
yeah,
you're the out,
that's the
you're
third.
the out
Yeah, you're the
looking
third
at it.
person.
Yeah.
But it used to happen to me when I was the Indian. I would be walking along the street, and I'd have I'd suddenly, my chest would suddenly go like that, and I'd be walking along with this tomahawk, and I'm thinking, what the hell's going on? And then you know, looking on, like Gloria was saying about that, and then I would look at myself doing something, and I think, oh, you
So
should.
then you're step back watching them.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
should-
see, I never
you
saw
shouldn't be
myself.
doing
You're
that.
flicking them
Yeah.
between being the person
That's
and
what I mean.
watching.
From
Yeah.
first person to third person.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
Yeah,
I was
you
just
could-
looking at
you
like
could
a
do
still
that.
shot.
Yeah.
Like still shots.
Yeah, so you're looking in the third person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never done third
And that's
person.
all I've got.
It's really weird looking
It
at
must be
yourself
weird.
doing something.
Look at yourself,
That's
but
how
that's
it's
not you
thought.
now. You're looking at
No,
yourself
no.
and you're s-
Yeah,
you
that-
look-
And
you
it
look
was like
different.
50, 60, so I was like living life before this one, I don't know.
Yeah.
But when you look at yourself,
Yeah,
so I can do meditation, I can look at myself when, you know, when we're doing the chakra stuff, I can see myself outside of me.
Yeah.
But
That's
when I do
third
past
person.
life regression, I'll be as first person, but I don't feel I'm me. Like I am that person I was.
Yeah, but
That
you're
makes
you're
sense.
you're
no,
viewing
I'll
it.
get you.
You're viewing it as that person through their eyes at that time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or me, because it
Yeah.
was me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could see it. I could see me doing something. I'm thinking, you shouldn't be doing that. Why are you doing that? And it's me doing it. But I'm looking at
It's
myself.
like you're looking at a replay of it.
Yeah, it's like, what's going on? You know,
Yeah.
it's confusing. It's really, really baking my noodle. That was just.
Yeah, mine was
Anyway,
just those image. I didn't get any other information.
Okay.
No, I mean, no, nothing. Just that, like literally a couple of still images. I mean, other people got a whole life story, whereas that's the first time
You
I'd
just
really
got
done anything.
bits when
First
you
time
was-
I'd meditated,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it was in a
okay.
room with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of distractions. Having not done that before, so then.
And it wasn't a long enough intro
No.
into doing it, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think he made the assumption that most people have done it before. So,
There's a good like 20 odd people in there, weren't there?
yeah, and it's only like 20 minutes, half an hour meditation.
That's not long enough though.
No, we do an hour and a half. I do it.
Yeah. Had I been somewhere like what Jeff was doing, maybe I might have got something.
Well, that
A bit
was
more
that was
in-depth.
hypnotherapy. So I do meditation, which is a general form of hypnotherapy.
Yeah, that's how I went.
Hypnotherapy is something.
I mean,
you
I
can
weren't
do.
hypnotised. I was still
Yeah.
awake, wide awake.
Yeah.
But it was just using the meditation, and that was it. Once you're in the meditation, you're off. You go. You know,
It's very
Okay.
weird.
it is strange.
Yeah. Right, so we've got another 10 minutes, just over, and we'll pack up. So I'll just cover over. Heather's mentioned about there was a documentary about a Scottish lad who remembered family, place, etc. from another town he'd never lived in before.
And there was one about a young boy who was a pilot, and
Yeah,
he
that is
remembered the
Jack.
pilot's name.
I got
Yeah, Jack, and he was able to name his squadron.
Yeah.
He knew stuff about the plane that he know right to know at that age.
Yeah.
He could also he also knew his sister, and he actually went to visit his
Yeah, it's
his
mad,
sister.
isn't it?
Yeah, and it was because they first started out that he'd have constant nightmare. And it was always the same thing. He was trying to kick his covers off, and little man can't get out, sort of thing.
Is that like getting out of the plane? Sort
Yeah,
of
he
thing?
was trying to get out of his cockpit.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and he went down in the water. This is Pearl Harbor, I think. And he actually went to the spot where he went down. But yeah, he was able to name all of his squadron. He could tell you everything about the aircraft, and indeed any other aircraft. When I went to the museum, he said I had no right to have known all the information that he did at that age.
Yeah.
He's only like 5, 6 years old.
I mean, it's impossible. How would you know all that info unless you'd been there
Yeah,
and done it?
and he knew his
Yeah.
sister by a pet name as well or something. So.
And remember it in such
Yeah,
detail.
it's
Yeah.
just crazy.
Right.
Do you know you asked me early on if I had the latest one? I just remembered the one, I don't know if it was a past, I think it was past life. I was on a merchant ship
Mm.
and it got torpedoed. I remember the torpedo hit and I'm going up in the air like, and I'm thinking that was it.
Yeah.
Short and sweet, yeah. Lovely. Boom.
So yeah, there's those two. There's
So yeah, it's quite a few documents.
Mm. There's one of, I think, it was on the Y-Files. I think they've done it reasonably good job of it. Of a woman that lived in Egypt.
Yeah.
And she was able to describe all the gardens, where things were at the site, and no one had any knowledge of anything that she described about. But when they dug down, it was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was
But you can't explain that away.
no.
No.
No, I mean, this is where
Weird, isn't it?
it you
But
know,
it's not weird. It's just if you go back, I keep saying this, if you go back civilizations, they would have just accepted this as a normal thing.
We've just been
Just-
conditioned
yeah.
that way, haven't we now?
yeah, we've been conditioned.
Yeah, we're so
the
reliant on
brains are-
technology and the physical world and everything we need to own and we want to have that we've forgotten actually.
It's all
We're
material.
incredible. and we are-
Materialism's
yeah.
there, isn't it? And none of it's spiritual anymore, is
Yeah.
it? It's all material.
Exactly,
must have
yeah.
this, must have that.
Being spiritual is a bit of a fad at the moment, isn't it? It's trendy.
Mm.
Well, it runs parallel, like I said before, runs parallel with your physical life.
Of course
You
it
know,
does, yeah.
I mean, whatever happens with your physical life can affect your spiritual and vice versa.
yeah.
Simple
Well,
as.
with technology being such an encroachment into our lives, maybe people will just go in reverse back to
We're devolving.
yeah,
We are.
going back to
We
where
are.
It's getting
We came
crazy,
from.
aren't we? You
Yeah.
don't think?
Yes, I mean, I've one more thought I think I've touched on before. Do you think we could, when we reincarnate, could we reincarnate into the past?
Yeah.
Time travel.
Mm.
Yeah, of course, because there is no time.
Yeah,
So everything's happening at the same time.
yeah,
So you are in the past right now because the
Mm.
past doesn't exist.
yeah. So, I mean,
Which is a bit of a mind.
so if I was to pass away right now and reincarnate 30 years ago,
Yeah. Why not?
could that be a thing?
Yeah, we might have already had lives in the future.
Mm. And is that why some of us can have premonitions?
Well, it's like
Because
the,
we've already had that memory from the future.
it's
My
like,
mum
So
used
you'd
to
actually be
predict
living
plane
30
crashes.
years ago.
Mm.
it's like these aliens that say that
Oh, that's
we are you
Mm.
in the future.
Mm.
And what how the hell did that happen?
I don't. Yeah, I've seen that video. I'm not sure I buy into that actually.
Yeah,
Well, everyone's different, got
Yeah.
different things. I wouldn't put it past it. I mean, you've got different dimensions or like
Oh yeah, we
Let's
definitely
say,
have. But,
different, you know.
but that
alien
alien
running
said, oh,
Aliens.
nuclear war, and
They always
there's
say
a lot
that,
of
don't they?
evidence to suggest that she.
Bit of a stab in the dark, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I always try and play that card. I mean, you say it won't happen, but anyway. Yeah, so that was the last thought I had is whether you could, because yeah,
we can.
as,
I believe so.
on this plane we measure time, and we were actually told to measure time.
Yes, we're
By-
actually,
The
yeah.
the races that put us here, but that's another story that we've done.
Well, we've been brainwashed to
Yeah,
take
but in spirit, time has no meaning. So
Exactly.
no, there's no time in spirit.
no, so there's nothing to stop you going
There's
back.
no boundaries,
Yeah.
is there?
So they
Yeah.
can be in all places, all times, and so can we when we're not inside our body, which
I mean,
is
we
where
use-
astral projection
Yeah.
comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
No,
use
I
this
mean,
as a vehicle to get
I
Yeah.
I projected myself back to the 90s a couple of times.
Yeah.
It was really weird. That was a really weird experience.
But like I said, we use these as vehicles to get around in
Mm.
this on this level, on
Yeah.
this plane.
Yeah.
On-
I'll tell you what is weird, when you astral travel with other people who are astral travelling with you,
I
Mm.
was just going to say
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
and you
that's
just
the
meet
thing.
up and go, yeah, fancy a beer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another thing and all. When we was in Circle, the people I was travelling with, they said, "Oh, did you see so and so?" I said, "Yeah, I run into that as well." I saw it. Thinking,
Yeah, so you can set it up so that you
Yeah.
do that,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you just work in
yeah,
sync.
That is
My,
mad.
mine was weird because it was like, so I'd gone back to the 90s as me now, knowing that me was walking around in the 90s as well.
Oh, I want to be able to.
And I needed cash, and I'm like, I've got my wallet with me, but I can't use my card because me then is going to go, who the fuck's using my card? Sorry, French.
Oh no!
You said the naughty word.
That is literally like Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
was-
literally.
that's why I like
really
watching these
surreal.
things. It's
Yeah.
like
Really surreal.
it's little bits and little snippets, and you think, oh yeah.
You know, you've gone back, but I can't. I know I could walk into the bank and Well, I wouldn't be able to use my car because it wouldn't work. 'cause
They
it's
wouldn't know
complete-
what it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
right,
the car's
so
got
they
chip
don't
and
know,
pin,
yeah.
we wouldn't have had it in 30.
Look, all we need is the lottery numbers for next week. That's all.
Yeah.
We need.
That'd be nice. But I would have been able to have gone into the bank and say, look, I forgot me, I can't find my card anywhere.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
know my bank details because they haven't changed since I was 16. And I'd been able to
Yeah,
give
your
my
bank must think you're so loyal.
You
Yeah.
just need to
Yeah.
know what
Oh, he's a
address
good
you were
boy.
living at.
Eh?
You would just need to know what address you were living at.
That'd have been fine because if I knew the date, I would have went out to
Yeah,
the
that's what I mean, yeah.
The only thing that would have probably made them question it is that, okay, if they'd have asked me my date of birth.
You know.
That
Would that be
would
the
stay
same?
Yeah, because, yeah, my date of birth, it is what it is. It's in the, my date of birth is in the 70s. But if I'm as I am
That way-
now,
Oh, you
Yeah,
just
so
say
that-
you took drugs. It's fine.
yeah,
You,
Just
you
say
look
you
old,
haven't
you look
got-
old for your
I
you,
age.
know.
you don't look like you're in your mid-20s, son.
Just say you had a little stretch.
I know
Yeah.
life, and
Very stressful.
I was on heroin,
Mm.
and
So
you
if
know.
they've asked me what date of birth,
That is
that'd have been
basically cracking.
Yeah.
But,
I
yes,
try, or you know, what was
that was a
that?
really, really weird experience.
Yeah, that
Really
you'd have a
weird.
shocking experience and your hair turned white overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I just found myself back in the 90s. I'm from 2025.
You could have made some money. Look, I've got some coins.
Yeah, yeah, that was Sports Almanac. That would have been great.
I know that the gold is going to go up, so I'll buy a load now.
Yeah, yeah. Find myself up. Right. Okay, right. So we're pushing 1 hour and a half. Gonna knock that one on the head. Good day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
we kept this on point more or less.
Pretty much.
Mm.
Yeah,
So-
pretty on topic, yeah.
So what do we say for the next topic?
You want to?
What did you say?
What were you talking
Skinwalkers?
about?
Was it
Skin
No,
walkers,
oh
wasn't
no.
No,
Yeah,
no.
we can't talk about that. Yeah, we can't talk about what he wants to talk about.
No.
No.
So
No, but it was when you were talking about skinwalkers.
we could, yeah, we could.
You
have
said
some-
something then, that's for the next one.
Yeah,
What about
just
yeah.
mean,
Cryptids.
yeah,
Cryptids, that's it.
And all sorts of weird and wacky stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
strange
I think we might have
stuff,
covered
yeah.
it before, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
when we covered Sasquatch and
Yeah.
other things.
Various.
Yeah. So maybe British cryptids.
Or even the other side
Scary.
kind of the space stuff, you know, whatever.
Space stuff, yeah.
You know, like Area 51 and stuff like that. But I know,
Stone
you know,
Yeah, yeah.
Stonehenge.
Yeah,
Stonehenge, you know, anything.
the national monuments. I mean,
Yeah.
people don't really know
Yeah.
what's
Yeah,
going
obviously,
on.
obelisks.
Obelisks.
Yeah.
Yeah, history of the obelisks and what they signify and the stuff all around the world.
But
Yeah.
in the UK maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Well, we'll have a think and get back.
Yeah, yeah. We'll let you know.
Or maybe people
Any
can
suggestions?
suggest.
Yeah.
We're open to suggestions.
Yeah. So if anyone's watching this on replay, drop a comment and let us know what you think, and we'll look into it. So, right, from me and the rest of the crew, we are gonna wish you love and light, and God bless a lot of you, and we will see you on the next live. And don't forget, recorded content is coming up as well now, and of course my vlogs as well.
We're
Thank you very
going
much.
ghost hunting.
Yeah, we're going to go something.
Who you gonna call?
Bye-bye.
And you're going to see me
Para-Quest.
run very fast.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. So anyway,
Bye.
goodbye. Love and light.
Goodbye.
Bye.
God be with you all.